Hey guys, Michelle here. I remember back when my kids were really young and I was running a law practice and just had my hands in a lot of things and life felt really, really full. And I remember that I used to keep telling myself that this was just a really busy season. And once, I was able to settle that case, or once my kids slept through the night, or once this project wrapped up, or once we got through the holidays, or once things slowed down, life was going to get easier. And what I've noticed working with a lot of high achieving women who are also raising kids over the years is that it never actually does. It never actually gets easier because there's always the next thing, right? There's the next project and the next transition and the next thing that your family needs from you. And the women I work with are just so capable. You guys are so committed, and it's also exhausting, right? For waiting for that relief that just doesn't come. So I have created and want to offer you something different. On June 3rd, I'm hosting a free live workshop called the Capacity Audit. And in just 60 minutes, you're going to find out exactly where your nervous system needs to expand so that your full life stops feeling like too much. It's not so much about doing less or scaling back or overhauling your whole schedule, but I want to teach you where you can get exponentially better at handling all the things you're handling. So you're going to leave with your personal capacity profile. And I'm really excited about this part, your single highest leverage move. You're going to know exactly the one thing that you need to go out and change so that your days actually feel different. So it's free. I'm teaching it live. There is going to be a replay available for a limited time, but I would love to see you there. You can go ahead and register. The link for it is in the show notes. Grab your spot, or you can go to michellegrosser.com/audit. All right, let's jump into today's episode. Hey there, it's Michelle here. Are you sick and tired of feeling sick and tired? I totally get how exhausting that can be. As a nervous system expert, I want to teach you how when our nervous system isn't functioning properly, it shows up for us mentally, emotionally, and physically. Are you always tired? Do you really have trouble concentrating? Maybe you find that you're just perpetually busy and you can tend to be a bit of a workaholic. Yep, those are signs of dysregulation. Do you often feel edgy or irritable? Or maybe you struggle with people pleasing or low self-confidence. Those are signs of dysregulation too. How about in your body? Have you struggled with IBS or gut issues? Maybe you struggle with insomnia, or you have migraines, or you feel like you're always sick. These are all telltale signs of a dysregulated nervous system. So if any of this sounds familiar, you've got to register now for my free live virtual workshop, the Mom Brain Masterclass. I'm hosting it on May 3rd at 12 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to teach you all that it takes to rewire that mom brain of yours so you can have practical tools and understanding for everything we just talked about: anxiety, overwhelm, burnout, all the things, so that you can really be that calm, centered presence in your home and at work. And don't worry if you can't make it to the live event. Just be sure to register today and I'll record it for you and I'll send it out to you via email afterward so you don't miss out. Can't wait to see you there. Welcome to the Calm Mom Podcast, the show for ambitious women ready to get off the hot mess express. I know you've got a lot going on. You work so hard, you're raising an incredible family, and sometimes it can be overwhelming. I'm your host, Michelle Grosser. I'm a certified master life coach, attorney, wife, and mom. And years ago, I was right where you are. I was running a busy law practice while raising a family, and I was on the fast track to burnout. I thought I just needed to be more organized or have better routines, but it was learning how to heal and regulate my nervous system that expanded my capacity to gracefully hold more of this big, beautiful life. You too are worthy of an extraordinary life in and beyond motherhood. Learning to be a calm, anchoring presence in your home and at work is going to be your superpower. If you're here to do the inner work that brings a sense of calm amidst the chaos, I'm here to join you on that journey. Each time you press play, your growth continues. So let's get at it. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the Calm Mom Podcast. Michelle Grosser here, your master coach. Thank you for joining us today. Always such a pleasure to have you here. I would love it if you guys could do me a favor today. Before you listen, or after you listen, could you share your favorite episode with 3 women? 3 of your friends, family members, other moms you know, neighbors, just 3 women who you think could benefit from this content, who you think could use some encouragement, who you think could use just a better understanding of how their body works and tools and resources to help them in their motherhood journey, managing overwhelm and burnout and all of the things that us incredible mamas face every single day. That would just mean so much to me, and I'm sure it would be helpful to them too. So I thank you. They will thank you. It's a win-win. You guys are the best. Okay, today we're going to talk about mindset, and we're actually going to talk about why mindset work isn't enough. So I kind of want to go through the science of it, the physiology of it, and I think it's going to be maybe surprising for some of you, but I think it's also even more so going to be more of an aha moment where things are going to start making sense, and you're going to realize that it's not that you're doing things wrong. It's not that you don't have enough discipline. It's not that you're so disorganized. It's just that you're not doing the right kind of work with your body in order to get to where you want to be. Okay, so here's the thing. There is a reason why you, me, all of us human beings, why we can't outthink nervous system regulation, right? It's not an intellectualization project. We cannot just learn about or read about nervous system dysregulation, and it's because it has to do with afferent nerves, AFFERENT, afferent nerves. And here's the thing, 80% of our nervous system is afferent. And you're like, okay, Michelle, what does that mean? What it means is that 80% of our nervous system runs from the bottom up. So it runs from the body toward the brain. 80% of our nervous system runs from our body toward our brain. Guys, that's a huge number. That's called bottom-up processing, right? What that means is, if you do the math, right, only 20% of our nerves actually run from the brain down to the body, the top-down processing. So our physical body input talks to this 80% of nerves that are running from the body towards the brain, and the mindset's just 20%. So think about how powerful just knowing this is. Yes, mindset is powerful. Yes, it's important to understand our thoughts and our motivations and how we set goals and our outlooks and our paradigms and all of these things. Absolutely important. But if that's all you focus on, if you just go out and hire a mindset coach or a business coach or even a life coach who doesn't understand the nervous system, you are setting yourself up to win 20% of your battles, right? You're setting yourself up to be able to make decisions, 20% better, carry them out 20% better, have a response to life and a view, an outlook to life, motherhood, marriage, all the things, only at 20% capacity because you're missing the other 80% of your nervous system that is afferent, that is running from your body towards your brain, right? It's like a 4 versus 1 tug of war, right? 80% for the 4 parts of your nervous system are sending messages from your body to your brain. And the 4 versus 1, only that 1 in the tug of war is sending the messages from your brain to your body. So if you're only doing mindset work or you're doing a ton of mindset work and you're not doing any body work, any somatic work, any nervous system regulation work, it's absolutely impossible for you to get to where you want to be, right? 4 versus 1 in tug of war. The one person's probably not going to win, right? It's highly improbable. And the same thing applies to our nervous system. So if we understand this, like you guys now do, and we accept this, guys, we can use this to our advantage, mamas. Like this is so powerful. And that bottom-up processing that I teach It's so effective at shifting your negative emotional states. We have the evidence to prove it, right? And that's where the healing happens. So to me, this is so comforting and it's so encouraging, because when I learned this and then I actually started putting time, energy, effort, focus, healing on that. I did the mindset work still, right? That 20%, I didn't just neglect it, but I also incorporated the other 80% of my nervous system by getting out of my head and into my body and learning how to regulate my body and my nervous system through somatic practices. That's when I realized, like, oh, I'm not just, I'm not lazy. it's not a procrastination thing. I don't lack discipline. It's just that my body was dysregulated and it was telling my brain, this isn't safe. This is uncomfortable. I don't want to do this. It was going back to childhood and all of these different experiences that I'd had that I wasn't even aware of, right? That's where the people pleasing comes up. For me, that's where the overreaching, that's where some codependency comes up. All of these different things that if we only focus on mindset, we're not addressing any of the roots of any of that other stuff, right? So again, you're not lazy. You're not a procrastinator, right? You don't lack discipline or motivation. You're just focusing. If you're doing mindset work, you're just focusing on 20% of your nervous system and you're neglecting the 80% that actually runs from your body towards your brain. So you've got to incorporate nervous system work. You've got to incorporate somatic work. You've got to get out of your head and into your body. And guys, this is why I think it's such a value for you to jump on that free live masterclass that I'm teaching on May 3rd. It's called the Mom Brain Masterclass. And I'm really going to go into this more because I want you guys to understand the power in regulating your nervous system through this bottom-up processing. You've all read the books, you've all listened to the podcast, you've all, done all of those things that are mindset work. But you're missing out on the body work. So join me. I'm going to be teaching it live. It's going to be on Zoom on May 3rd at noon Eastern. If you can't make it live, it's okay. Just go ahead and register. I'll record it for you and I'll shoot you an email of the recording with a link just to whatever email you use to register. It's going to be under an hour. I'll do live Q&A and hot seat coaching at the end. If you have questions or that's, there's something you've been curious about with this, or you have a particular issue or roadblock or something that you just feel like you want some additional information or support around, show up on May 3rd. It's going to be amazing. I would love to meet you guys. I would love to see you guys. It is starting to fill up. So that's really exciting because it's affirmation to me that this is so needed in our community of moms. So I'm really, really excited to be able to put this together and on for you. So it's on May 3rd. It's going to be at noon Eastern. It's going to be on Zoom. You can do it wherever you are. You don't even have to turn your camera on if you can't, if you're at work or, wherever you're at. I will send a replay, but I just encourage you to be there. I encourage you to maybe invite someone else that that might benefit from understanding how their nervous system works a little better. If you know any other moms who struggle with anxiety, who struggle with overwhelm, who struggle with burnout, who struggle with people pleasing, who struggle with intrusive thoughts, worrying, who struggle with just feeling bogged down by the weight of being a working mom and the mental load and all of the things that we try to do and feel like we have to do on a day-to-day basis, guys, invite them. Invite them, because this is not some surface level 45-minute thing where I'm going to give you journaling prompts and, ask you to do a 2-hour morning routine. That's not what I'm doing. This is all science-based. I'm going to show you the neuroscience. I'm going to cite to all of the studies that support what we're doing. And I'm going to increase your awareness around what's going on in your body and what you can do about it. Because here's the thing, you can increase your capacity. I've done it and I've helped so many women do it. You can actually do the things that need you need to do to get you from where you are to where you want to be without it being overwhelming for you, right? You can do and hold all of the things that this big life has for you. Guys, I'm doing so much on my plate right now. And I say that because I feel like I'm a walking, talking testimony for increasing my capacity. 5 years ago, I would not be able to do and manage what it is that I'm doing and managing right now without being, front row seat on the hot mess express. I wouldn't be sleeping. I would be just feeling overwhelmed. I'd be paralyzed in overwhelm. I would be a wreck. I know I would. But right now I'm able to hold more than I've ever been able to hold. I'm able to do more than I've ever been able to do in a healthy way that does not dysregulate my nervous system. I can feel cool, calm, in control with everything that's on my calendar and all that my family, managing a house, being a mom, being a wife, all that requires from me without it, throwing me into overwhelm, panic, or burnout. Right? There's a graceful way to do it. And it's because I've learned through these practices how to expand my window of tolerance. And that's something I want to teach you guys. Okay? So join me. It's on May 3rd at noon. There is a link to register in the show notes. It's free. You just got to put your name and your email, and then you'll get all the information on how to join. But I cannot wait to see you there. Okay. Further, I also want to talk just about these bottom-up exercises, because another important thing that they do that you don't get in mindset work is that it increases your interoception. And what is that? That's your awareness, your personal awareness of what's going on inside of your body, right? Those inner sensations. So yeah, we can walk around and say things like, oh, I'm anxious, I have anxiety. But what is that inner sensation? Like, how does that actually feel inside of your body? Is it tension? Is it stomach pain? Is it a tightness in your chest? Is it a change in your heart rate? Is it cold sweats? Like, how does that actually show up in your body? Because the interoceptive system is constantly sending information to your brain, right? Body to brain, the afferent nerves, about the state of your body. And that's the information that is used to regulate so many important functions in your day-to-day, right? Your heart rate, your blood pressure, your breathing, your digestion. So when your nervous system becomes dysregulated, right? You often become associated. I often become dissociated. When we're in a dysregulated state, we become dissociated from our body. And what happens then is that interoception, it decreases. It goes down, and we become less aware of what's going on in our body and what our body is trying to communicate to us, right? And then that leads to more stress, and that leads to more pain responses. And then there's increased intensity in the body because our body's trying to get our attention. Does that all make sense? So by doing these exercises that increase interoception, we can significantly reduce our stress and our pain responses because we're going to learn how to pay attention to what it is that our body's trying to communicate with us. And I'm going to go through all this in the masterclass. And then I guess just lastly today, there's just the knowledge that there is an effective coping mechanism to everything that you're experiencing, right? Just in and of itself, that decreases your stress. It decreases your autonomic stress responses. And as we don't perceive things as overwhelming, like sometimes just knowing that there is a solution, there is a way out there that someone can teach me that I don't have to live like this, we don't perceive it then as overwhelming as we would otherwise, right? When we know that there is an effective way out. So that's my soapbox for you today. I just want you to understand, because I think there's so much out there telling us to do all of this mindset work. And while it is important, I think most of the industry lacks understanding on how the nervous system actually works, right? And science has proven to us that only 20% of our nerves actually go from the brain to the body. So if we want to have the depth of change, the depth of healing that we actually all desire, then we've got to include the depths of our nervous system, which is that 80% of the nerves that go from the body to the brain, those afferent nerves. Hope this was helpful for you guys. Again, if you found it helpful, I would just love it if you could share this episode or another episode with some of your friends. Maybe go ahead and invite them to the free Mom Brain Masterclass happening on May 3rd. But get yourself registered. I cannot wait to see you guys there. Thanks for hanging with me today. I will talk to you soon.
If you love Mommy's Podcast, leave a review.
If you enjoyed this episode, it would be so awesome if you could take a moment to subscribe and rate the podcast. And if you have just a few more seconds to leave a quick review, they really help to get this podcast out to other moms like you. I read every last review, and trust me, when it's late at night or early in the morning before my kids get up and I'm working on bringing you all of this content, your reviews are what keep me going. Leaving a review is truly the best way you can thank me. And of course, DM me on Instagram. I love to hear from you. Thanks for listening to another episode. Head over to the show notes for this episode and all past episodes at michellegrosser.com, where you'll find free resources and more ways to connect with me. If you love the show, share it with a friend. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you next time.